Hello everybody, here it's Glenn Dupke from Dupke Wellness from the Adrenal Recovery System. Today's video is extremely important because here I'm going to actually walk you through the steps of actually completing your adrenal saliva test kit. So when you get this in the mail, you're going to just see this big white bag. Now, once you get the bag and you're ready to start to really first discover and become acquainted with this, you want to open the bag and start taking out the contents. You're going to have a couple of, they're not going to be frozen at this time. I froze them for the purpose of this, this video. But you're going to have a couple of ice packs, non-frozen of course. So don't think that they thawed out during the shipping process. They will come thawed and not frozen. So 2 ice packs, and you start getting into the bag. You're going to recognize in different parts of the bag, you're going to have all these little goodies. And the little goodies are actually going to be essential for everything you're going to be doing with the adrenal recovery system. So once you get all this out, you can take you want to save the bag though. Don't get rid of this bag, but this is also essential in the packing process. And make sure you hold on to this bag. All right, so you're going to then recognize you're going to have a packing bag for when the kit is complete. You're going to have your 2 ice packs that I mentioned. You're going to have the shipping bag, so you want to be able to make sure that you have your shipping bag in here. You're also going to have your little vials, which are going to be essential for collecting your saliva, so we're going to go over those. You're going to have the shipping slip from the UPS, a 2-day air shipping slip. You're going to have a sheet for women to fill out based on information for your cycle. You're going to have that. You're going to have directions, which are going to be inside of a little bag here. So you're going to have directions for the entire kit, which we're going to go over together. So these are all right here. And you're going to have a very important little direction sheet on how to ship your kit back to the company, to BioHealth, to review and provide the results of your adrenal test kit. All right, now the last thing that you're going to have in here that I saved for last on purpose is actually your requisition form. Now I left this particular requisition form blank because you shouldn't get it blank, but it may come blank to you if there's some unforeseen incident, somebody doesn't complete the task and completing things for you. So I wanted to leave this blank so I can actually show you what we're going to do if it does come blank. Now, as I said, it should come already filled out, my name signed on there, which test kit this is, crossed out the patient payment because obviously you've already paid for the program. And usually it should just be your own personal information and supplemental information that you're going to be putting on this sheet. But in the case it does show blank for you, in the top box on the right where it says clinicians, check box next to the test you are ordering. Everybody in the adrenal recovery system is ordering the 205 functional adrenal stress profile plus V. So that's the third on the bottom here. So if for some reason that isn't checked off, make sure you check off the 205 functional adrenal stress profile plus V as in Victor. That's going to be very important. All right, also, if it's not crossed off, the entire patient payment process of this requisition form should be crossed off because you've already paid for the kit with the adrenal recovery system. So that's very important. If there's actually, and this really shouldn't come this way, but I want to cover all bases. If for some reason my name wasn't stamped on here where it says physician payment, go ahead and check off the box that says charge my credit card on file, physicians only, and date that area right on here where it says signature and date. And instead of signature, obviously I don't want you to forge my name, just write in the words Dupke Wellness, so D-E-P-K-E Wellness. All right. That way they will know that they would contact me once this kit comes in just to confirm that this is a legitimate kit. Right? And now the only parts that you should have to take care of, because honestly I'm going to show you what it should come like. And basically what it should look like when this arrives, the 205 functional adrenal stress profile plus V will already be checked off. My name will already be stamped on this with a date. It will already be marked to bill my account. This should already be checked out. And also the two areas over here for your information, your personal information, and for supplements will either be highlighted in yellow or will have a little asterisk next to it. So the only part that you really should have to take care of on this is filling out your personal information and then the list of supplements. Now, I recognize, and fold this in half to make it easier, I recognize that for a lot of you, you're going to have more supplements than may fit in this small area. So if that's the case, list your supplements on a separate sheet of paper and put see attached sheet, and then just staple, not staple, just put a paper clip on that and connect those two sheets. That way they're going to have the list of the supplements for yourself. Yeah, so that's a very important part to really take care of, because once they get the kit, you want to make sure they have all the information, all your supplementation, and to make sure all the specific notations need to be made from myself, W Wellness, and the adrenal recovery system. Now, once you have that then together, now maybe guess what's the next most important part. You might think, well, the most important part is to do the test. Well, that's actually not correct. The most important part after that is to read through all of your instructions. All right, every single bit of this, and don't read through these the day of your that you're going to do your test kit. Read through this maybe a couple of days before, because number one, you want to make sure, you want to go through the list. It gives a list of what everything is contained in the kit. Well, perhaps somebody missed something, whether it be at the lab itself or in our office, because we tend to check these before they go out. So you want to make sure that you have everything that's in the kit. And obviously, if it's not in the kit, then you contact our office immediately, and we will send you out either a whole new kit or whatever you're missing ASAP, obviously, because you're probably just as excited about I am as getting your results back and moving forward with this. Remember, obviously you want to be happy and healthy. So make sure you go through all of these directions 2 days prior to. Now, there's a couple of main points that I want to make with these. Number one is, if you are currently on any type of adrenal hormonal protocols, whether it be through me or from another practitioner, if you can, I would say it would be best to stop those protocols for 36 hours prior to doing your adrenal saliva kit. That gives us a better indication of really just how your adrenals are functioning without the assistance of any supplement. And this goes for people when I'm doing a retest. I always ask my clients to stop your supplementation, your adrenal protocol for the 36 hours before, because again, we want to see directly how your adrenals are functioning. Other aspects within this is the test kit itself is a 1-day collection. You're collecting from 6 to 8 in the morning, noon to 1, 4 to 5, and 10 to midnight in a 1-day period. So it has to start in the morning and end at the night. You cannot start, let's say, at noon one day and then finish up the next morning. It's got to be the one complete day cycle. It's very important. And if you happen to be taking your test and you get to the point where you forgot one of the times, or you realize that you ate or drank something and you shouldn't have at the times that are really you're told not to, that's okay. Don't worry about it. It's not like it's nothing to freak out about or be upset about. Just recognize that you're going to just have to wash out those vials with hot water and let them dry, and then you can restart the testing the next day. So don't be overly concerned if something goes wrong during your day. And now, also to make some key points with this, with your directions, another one I think is so important for me to mention right now is the day you're doing the collection, no caffeine, no alcohol, and no smoking. I know the caffeine is the bigger one to really address, because it's not just about drinking coffee, it's about drinking even decaffeinated coffee, even decaffeinated green tea, anything that has caffeine in it, including soda with caffeine, you want to stay away from on this day, because we ultimately want the most accurate, the best results possible for you. I try to do this on as much of a normal day as possible. Your adrenal test based on saliva is going to give you an overview of where your hormones have been. It's not just that moment, but you don't want to plan this on a day when you know that there's a really high stress day, unless your really high stress day is a normal day. So try to do this on as much of a normal day as possible as you're collecting. And then when we want to look at the collection part itself, this is another important factor. You're going to get 4 different vials that are going to be included for you. They're going to be marked right on the top. You can see it right here. Morning, noon, afternoon, and evening. Right? So obviously 6 to 8 a.m., noon to 1, 4 to 5, and 10 to midnight. Now before you even start these, take this little, there's little stickers that are going to go on each vial, and fill out all of your information, the collection date that you know you're going to do it. Just don't put the times yet until you know what time you're going to do it. All right? And then when the collection day comes, you're basically taking the cap off of this, and you're placing saliva into these little plastic tubes. Now this may take you a couple of minutes, it may take you 10 minutes. Some people may take you a half hour depending on how you can actually express saliva. But you want to express the saliva into this tube. Now you can't see on the video, but you want to get that, there's lines and numbers on the tube. You want to have the liquid of the saliva up to the number 4. Right? So when you're expressing into the tubes, you're going to recognize you're not going to just have liquid, but you're also going to have a foam or bubbles in there. Well, the foam and the bubbles don't count. It's got to be liquid. And I'll even tell you, because I've done this test kit myself many times, as you're doing this and you have some bubbles and some foam, some of that will start to subside and become liquid. But just keep going until you get liquid to at number 4 or above. See, and then once you get that completed, now you take that, you close it up. You take one of your stickers that has already your name and your date and everything on it. You make sure you mark down the time you took this. Take that sticker off, wrap it around the vial, and put the vial in the freezer. Right? If you can't rush it to the freezer, there's a time frame that's marked on the instructions on how soon you have to get into the freezer. But this is something that is also essential. The frozen samples will give you the most accurate readings for your adrenal function and also the many other hormones that we're going to be looking at in this test kit. So make sure you get those in the freezer. Then you're going to do the same thing with the noon, the same thing with the afternoon, and the same thing with the evening sample. Now with the evening sample, I just also want to be clear, again, this is from 10 to midnight, but what it would be important to do, because you want to try to keep, on the night that you're doing this, try to keep lights dim. Don't be walking around the house flipping every light on. For some period just before you're doing the sample itself, turn off the TV, no computer, don't be playing on your phone, all the things that would actually change melatonin responses in your body. Yeah, so this would be a good night to just relax, take a bath to maybe some candlelight in the bathroom, or just relax to a good book on a really dim light, or even preferably a red light, which is really great for keeping really maximizing the benefits of melatonin. But anyway, do that and make sure again that you get your sticker on every one of these. And remember, each one of these vials that you're doing, they're actually going into the freezer because you're sending frozen samples. All right, so at this point, what you're going to have this little absorptive material. You'll notice it with the orange and white on one side, along with all of your vials that have all of the different stickers on them to notify the times and dates and your name and everything. And it's all going to go in the biohazard specimen bag. All right, and you're going to mark frozen on there. If you don't mark frozen, I wouldn't be overly concerned, but it does ask if it's frozen, refrigerated, room temperature. It's going to be frozen for you. All right, so these are going to go in the bag. So now we get to the fun part of the shipping. Make sure I express all the air out of this. Now, as I mentioned before, I actually did, for the purpose of this video, I did already freeze the ice packs, because I wanted to be able to show you what to do with this. So what you're doing is you're taking your samples. You can hold on to your directions. Those don't have to go back. And you're going to have your directions on packing and shipping the specimens. All right, so make sure you have that out in front of you. Now what you're going to be placing into your different bags here is, number one, you're going to have your entire requisition form, all of your personal information filled out, your supplement list or your attached sheet for the supplements. You're going to have the 205 functional adrenal stress profile plus V as in Victor. My name is going to be signed here and dated. Again, if you have to do this, you're just going to write Dupke Wellness and the date and check off to charge my account for this. You're going to cross out, if it's not already crossed out, the payment. And all of that is going to be folded up and placed into, you've got another specimen bag right here. So that's going to go in there. And then also for women, as I mentioned, you're going to have a sheet to fill out based on where you're at with your cycle. So make sure you get all that information filled out. Again, fold that up and put that into this other bag right here. So now at this point, we've got one bag with all your frozen samples, and we've got another bag with your requisition form and the other necessary forms that go in here. Now what you're going to do with this then is you're going to take this silver packing bag and you're going to place the ice cubes, the frozen bags, in this bag, and you're going to put one on top of the other, and these are both going to basically surround your vial. So they're going to be frozen, and then they're going to actually be surrounded, and you can see in there, they're going to be surrounded by the ice packs. From there, what you're going to do is you're going to undo the adhesive area, and you're going to actually make sure that this is very well sealed for you. Okay, that's another important part. All right, now from there, remember, I told you at the beginning, don't throw out this white bag with the white padding in it. All right, because once you have your sealed bag, this bag is going to go into the white bag with the white padding within it. That's going to go in there. You're going to put all of your information, so that requisition form, and for women, that form for where you're at in your cycle, all of that is going to go inside of this bag. And then that bag, you're going to take off the strip, and that is going to be completely sealed also at that point, okay? Now, there's one other thing to do once you have that completely sealed, and it shows right on the white bag, because we've got the front part of the white bag and the back part of the white bag. Now, the back part shows you two areas where you want to just go put a slight puncture, maybe a little X-Acto knife or a little knife or a pair of scissors, something from your kitchen or your office, and just put a little punch hole in these two areas right here. And what will happen from that is the bag will self-inflate. Right? So the bag will actually get some air in it by you putting those holes in there. Right? And then from that standpoint, you've already got everything ready to be shipped. You've got obviously all of your information done. You've got your samples in there that were all done properly on a day that you did the things you were supposed to do. And now you're ready to go from there into the UPS shipping envelope like this. All right, and then this is actually going to be, you're going to take off the adhesive right here. You can notice that this is a clear adhesive on the white. The white part stays on, just the clear comes off. I've seen people in the past try to rip this whole white thing off. You're just taking off the clear adhesive there, and then that's just going to stick together. All right, now once you get it stuck together, you're going to recognize there's the back of the UPS shipping, which has a lot of UPS information on there, and then you've got the front. Well, the front is basically where you're going to take your pre-packaged shipping, your label. You're going to undo that label and stick that right to there. Okay, so you're going to have it right on that, ready to go. And at that point, you do one of two things. You either drop this off at a UPS location, or you call UPS to come and pick it up from your home or office. Now, either is going to be included. There's no additional charge for shipping. There's no additional charge for them picking it up from your home or office as opposed to you dropping it off. The only thing that I ask is make sure it's either dropped off or picked up. I don't want you to find a UPS box and throw it in there, and let's say it happens to be a nice, hot, sunny, warm day, and this box with your specimen is sitting in a hot box all day waiting for somebody to pick it up, and maybe you miss the pickup for that day and it doesn't get picked up till the next day. This has to get to BioHealth within 2 days. So that's a key. Now there's one other note that I want to make with this, is because it has to arrive in a 2-day shipping from frozen samples, you can only ship this out on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, because it has to be received on either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Right? You can't ship this out on Thursday and you get there on Saturday because it's going to sit until Monday. That's beyond the time frame that's essential for the test. And if you actually do send it out that way, basically the test kit is going to be really null and void. They can't even use the specimens. Right? So make sure this is shipped out only on a Monday, Tuesday, or a Wednesday. 2-day shipping. And the other thing to be aware of is just pay attention to holidays. We're going to have, obviously Thanksgiving shows up on a Thursday. So pay attention to when there's holidays, and just take it for granted that if there's a Thursday holiday, that BioHealth will be closed on Friday. So I don't want you to send this on Wednesday thinking, oh, well, it's going to get there on Friday and they're going to be open. So if it happens to be a holiday week, really either make sure you ship it out on Monday, or even better yet, just wait to ship it out until the next week. That would be best. So with all of this, the other thing I'd like to say is, obviously we went over this pretty comprehensively, and as I mentioned at the beginning, you're going to be committed to reading your directions for 2 days prior to this, so you should have any questions answered before you're doing this. But at any point, if you do have questions, feel free to reach out to either call my office at 949-954-6226, or even better yet, for the best service, give us an email, and just email us at support@depkewellness.com, and Depke is DEPKE. You'll have that information many other places, but if you get your test kit and you have questions after reading the directions, or questions after you've done it, don't hesitate. Reach out right away with an email. If you don't get a response as quickly as needed, make sure you call the office, because ultimately this is like gold for the entire protocol, because obviously we want to see where your adrenal function is, so it can actually help you in assisting your body in balancing your adrenals and resetting that all-important HPA axis you're going to hear me talk about. And so thank you for taking time out of your day to really watch this video and to learn what you need to do for your adrenal test kit. I'm Glenn Depke from Depke Wellness with the Adrenal Recovery System. Thank you.